Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we have a very clear goal, a singular mission, really. We're looking at how to break through that barrier, the one that keeps so many capable English speakers kind of stuck at band 6 in the IELTS speaking test.
Right. That band 6 ceiling, it's frustrating for a lot of people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we've dug into the sources, pulled together the key stuff that tells you exactly how to make that jump, get up to that band 7, maybe even higher.
And let's be clear, this isn't about just memorizing stock answers. That doesn't really work.
No.
This is about performance strategy. I mean, you probably already know the basics, right? It's face-to-face, 11 to 14 minutes.
3 parts. Yeah.
3 parts. But just knowing that structure, well, that's just the starting point. To really succeed, you need to get the philosophy behind the score.
Yes. And the big takeaway, I think the most powerful one from everything we looked at, is actually motivational. It's this idea, fluency isn't some magic gift you either have or don't. It's a skill. You build it, like a muscle.
Exactly like a muscle. And like any muscle, if you want it to perform when you need it on test day, you need that daily workout, consistent practice.
Yeah, linguistic exercise every day.
Without that, honestly, all the strategies we're about to talk about, they won't land. They'll just feel unnatural because you haven't trained your mouth and your brain to, work together smoothly and quickly.
Okay, so let's unpack that core idea first. This guiding philosophy for getting band 7 and up. This is where we tackled the biggest fear, right?
Yeah.
The one holding people back.
Right. And the absolute #1 principle, the biggest mindset shift you need to make is putting fluency over accuracy.
Okay, explain that.
Okay.
Because that sounds counterintuitive to some people. Don't they want perfect English?
Well, yes and no. See, when you're under pressure, the natural instinct for many learners is to pause. You're mentally translating, checking the grammar.
Rerunning the sentence in your head.
Exactly. Yeah. And that hesitation, that silence, it sounds unnatural. It kills your fluency score. Examiners want to hear flow.
But how much accuracy can you actually give up? I mean, for non-native speakers, that fear of making a mistake is huge. It's paralyzing sometimes. Where's the line?
That is the million-dollar question, isn't it? And it's the crucial trade-off. Look, examiners expect some mistakes. They will tolerate minor grammatical slips. Maybe you forget an S on a plural, or use slightly the wrong tense if your meaning is clear.
Ah, okay. If the meaning gets through.
Yes. And if you keep the flow going, if you're speaking quite smoothly, logically, those small errors often get overlooked. Why? Because you're showing high-level communication ability. The score really drops when the errors become frequent, or, crucially, when you stop talking, when you sacrifice that fluency trying to fix every tiny thing. Keep the momentum.
Keep the ball rolling. Okay. So speed, logic, flow. They trump minor slip-ups.
Got it. So assuming we manage that, how does that translate into action? We can't just give super short answers, right? Even if they're fluent.
Absolutely not. No. That's the fast track to staying at band 6, just giving a 1-sentence reply. Candidates hitting band 7, band 8, they always extend their answers. What does extend mean here?
It means adding something more. Give some details, provide a relevant example, offer a personal opinion maybe, anything that fleshes out the response. It turns a simple yes or no into like a 3-line demonstration of your English ability.
Okay. And the last bit of this philosophy. Being natural.
Yeah, be natural. The sources are really strong on this. Avoid those obviously memorized robotic answers. They sound fake. Your intonation, the rhythm of your speech, it needs to rise and fall naturally, just like when you're chatting normally.
Right, not like reading from a script.
Exactly. And here's something that might help people relax a bit. The examiner, they're there to judge your English. How well you communicate. They are not judging your ideas.
Ah, that's important.
Yeah, you could share a totally mundane opinion or something a bit silly even. It doesn't matter as long as the English you use to express it is coherent and well-structured. So, stay calm. Focus on delivering the English.
That really takes the pressure off the content, doesn't it? Lets you focus purely on the language. Okay, since we're talking about managing pressure, let's dive straight into some practical tools, things you can use in the test. We're calling these the instant fixes and time-buying tools.
Yeah, these are like your emergency toolkit because silence is the enemy in this test.
Okay, tool number 1, you forget a word, brain freeze. What do?
Happens all the time. The key is don't just stop dead and search desperately. Use a paraphrase technique. Say something like, oh, what's the word? It's similar to, and then just describe the idea using simpler words you do know.
So you talk around it.
Exactly. It shows resourcefulness.
Yeah.
That's actually a high-scoring trait. You're showing you can cope with a language gap.
Nice. Okay, what about when they hit you with one of those really tough abstract questions, maybe in part 3, and you just need a second to think?
Yeah, you definitely need a phrase ready for that. You don't want to sound like you're just stalling awkwardly.
Yeah.
So if you get a complex question, maybe about government policy or future trends, don't just jump in with a half-baked answer. Use a polite time buyer. Something like, "That's an interesting question, let me think for a moment." Or, "I haven't really considered that before, but perhaps." That buys you maybe 5 crucial seconds to structure your thoughts without sounding unprepared.
Good one.
Yeah.
And what if you realize mid-sentence you've made a mistake? Said the wrong word or used the wrong tense?
Self-correct. Definitely. It actually shows you have good language awareness if you can spot and fix your own errors.
So don't just ignore it and hope they didn't notice.
No, quick fix. Just say, "Sorry, what I meant was," or actually, let me rephrase that and then say it correctly. Shows control.
Love those. They feel active, like you're managing the situation. Okay, and before we get into the test parts, there's one practice tool you mentioned people can start using literally today. Shadowing.
Shadowing, yes. It sounds so simple, but the payoff is huge for improving your sound, your intonation, your flow.
How does it work exactly?
You just listen to a native English speaker, could be a bit from a news report, a speech, even this deep dive, and you repeat what they say almost immediately after them, like an echo, sentence by sentence, or even phrase by phrase.
What's the focus? Getting the words right.
Not primarily, no. The main focus is on mimicking the sound. The rhythm, the pauses, the intonation where their voice goes up and down. You're trying to sound like them.
How much should people do this?
Doesn't need to be hours. Start small. Maybe 5-10 minutes a day. Pick clear audio. Listen, repeat. Listen, repeat. It trains your mouth, your vocal muscles, and it really helps bypass that mental translation step. Makes your spoken English sound much more natural over time.
Like vocal physiotherapy. Okay, makes sense. Right, let's get into the test itself. The 3 acts, part by part, strategy breakdown. What are they looking for in each part?
Okay, part 1, the introduction and interview. This is the warm-up.
Easy stuff.
Relatively, yeah. Familiar topics, your hometown, your work or studies, maybe hobbies, daily routine, family. It's designed to ease you in, so the questions are pretty direct.
And the strategy needs to be simple too, right? We have that 3-step formula.
Exactly. Keep it simple but structured. Step 1, direct answer. Just answer the question straight away. Step 2, add a detail. Just one relevant piece of extra info. Step 3, add an extra comment. Maybe how you feel about it or a reason why. That's the minimum to show you can extend.
Okay, let's use that reading example from the source's question. Do you like reading?
Right. 3 steps. Answer, yes, I really enjoy reading. Detail. I usually read novels, especially historical fiction, as I find the plot lines more engaging. Extra comment reason. Because they help me relax and learn about the past at the same time. See? Simple question, but you've given a structured 3-sentence response. Shows more ability than just yes.
Clear. Okay, moving on. Part 2. The cue card. The long turn. You get a topic, 1 minute to prep, then you talk for up to 2 minutes. That 1-minute prep time, that causes panic, doesn't it?
Oh, massively. People freeze. And the biggest mistake is trying to write out full sentences. Total waste of time.
So what should you do in that minute?
Keywords. Only keywords. Just jot down brief notes. Even if you're panicking, the absolute minimum you need on that paper are 4 anchor points. 4 main ideas.
What are those 4 anchors? What do they represent?
They map onto the 4 stages of your little 2-minute story. First, a very brief intro. Just say what you're going to talk about. I'd like to talk about a time when, something like that.
Okay.
Second, the details, the background, who, where, when, set the scene. Third, the main part, the story, what actually happened, sequence of events. And fourth, your opinion or feeling. How did you feel about it? Why was it memorable or important to you?
Intro, detail, story, opinion. Got it. And just telling the story isn't enough for the higher bands, right? You need to show you can structure it.
Exactly. You need to guide the examiner through your story using linking words and phrases. Signposting.
Like transition.
Precisely. Use phrases to signal where you are in the structure. Maybe start the details with, first of all, this happened when I was, or the person I was with was. Then move to the story with something like, so what happened next was, or after that. And lead into your opinion with, overall, the reason I remember this is, or to sum up, I felt. These little signposts show control over discourse. That's band 7 territory.
Okay, structured storytelling with signposts. Makes sense. Now, part 3. If part 2 is the story, Part 3 is the debate.
The abstract debate, yeah. This is where it gets trickier. The topics move away from you personally.
Right, bigger issues.
Much bigger. Society, the future, technology, education, environment, global comparisons. The questions are more complex, more analytical, and here, short answers are an absolute disaster for your score.
So because the questions are more complex, the strategy for answering needs to be more complex too. We need another structure, a 4-step one this time.
Yes, think of it like building a mini argument or an academic paragraph out loud. Step 1, state your opinion clearly up front. Step 2, give a reason for that opinion, why you think that. Step 3, provide an example. Ideally a broader societal example, not just personal. And step 4, reach a conclusion, or maybe offer a contrasting point or a small qualification.
That structure forces you to develop the idea, show nuance, and we need specific phrases for this part too, right? To introduce opinions and maybe contrasts.
Definitely. For opinions, instead of just, I think, maybe try, in my opinion, or from my perspective, or even as I see it.
Yeah.
And for contrasts, which are common in part 3, you absolutely need phrases like, on the other hand, or however, we also need to consider, or while that might be true in some cases.
Okay, let's try applying that 4-step structure. Using that technology example from the source material. Question: to what extent has technology changed communication?
Okay, step 1, opinion. Well, in my view, technology has profoundly changed how we communicate, arguably making it faster, but perhaps also shallower.
Okay, step 2, reason.
The main reason for this, I believe, is our heavy reliance now on smartphones and social media platforms. They've become the default channels for interaction for many people.
Step 3, example. Needs to be broader.
Right. For instance, you often see reports or studies showing that younger generations, particularly, tend to prefer sending quick text messages or using social apps rather than having, say, a longer phone conversation or meeting face-to-face, even with people they know well.
Okay. And step 4, conclusion or caveat.
So ultimately, while technology offers incredible efficiency, there's a potential downside. It seems to have led to a reduction, perhaps, in the depth, the quality of personal interaction as our attention gets more fragmented. You see? Structure, reason, example, conclusion. That gives your answer weight. That's the band 7+ difference.
That's a really clear breakdown. Fantastic. Okay, so we got the mindset, the emergency tools, the structures for each part. But like we said at the start, none of this works without the training, the practice. Let's talk about the score upgrade plan, the long-term actions.
Right. This is the building the muscle part. It's non-negotiable, really. First, you have to commit to speaking out loud every single day.
How long?
Aim for 10 to 15 minutes. Find random topics. You can find IELTS topic lists online easily. Just pick one and talk about it out loud. Simulates the test pressure.
And just talking isn't enough. You need feedback.
Yes. You need a weekly review. Record yourself speaking. Use your phone, whatever. Then, and this is the hard part, listen back critically.
Cringeworthy, but necessary.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it can be. But you need to listen for those repeated grammar mistakes, the awkward pauses, the moments where you're clearly translating in your head. Becoming aware of your habits is the first step to fixing them.
Okay, daily speaking, weekly review. What about vocab?
Be strategic. Don't just learn random word lists. Focus on themes. Pick common IELTS topics, travel, education, work, environment, technology, and aim to learn maybe 10 useful, relevant words or phrases per theme, words you can actually use.
High-value vocabulary for likely topics.
Got it. And if we tie all this practice back to that core philosophy, what's the ultimate goal? The ultimate goal is to basically stop translating in your head completely.
Yeah.
If you're still thinking in your native language and then mentally converting it to English before you speak, you'll never get that smooth, rapid, consistent flow needed for band 7.
You want English to become the direct output.
Exactly. The daily practice, the shadowing, the vocabulary work, it's all designed to make speaking English more automatic, more direct.
This really feels like a solid roadmap.
Okay.
So wrapping this up, the final takeaway seems to be, don't obsess over perfection.
Absolutely. IELTS speaking isn't a grammar test, not primarily. It's a communication test. They want to see if you can control the language, be coherent, structure your thoughts, and just communicate effectively. Flow matters. Structure matters.
And fluency is that muscle. You have to build it.
Consistent effort. Day in, day out. That's how you get the result.
So the challenge for everyone listening,
Yeah.
What's the immediate action? We're saying try it now, right after this.
Yes. Pick a random, everyday topic. Maybe describe the last meal you cooked or what you did last weekend or your ideal holiday destination. Anything.
And speak about it out loud for 10 minutes straight. Try to use maybe the part 2 structure, intro, details, story, opinion. Use some transition words. And critically, try not to stop and translate in your head. Just speak. See how it feels.
Push that fluency muscle? Starting today?
Start training now. That's the best advice we can give.
Fantastic. Well, that's all we have time for on this deep dive.
Keep practicing, and we'll catch you on the next one.